13, 63, 42, 145, 216, 89, 87, 142, 13, 23,226 days. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Rebecca Russell. If you haven't watched any of my videos before, welcome. If you've watched before, welcome back. Today we're talking about Queen Victoria. Now, Queen Victoria became the Queen in 1837 after the death of her uncle William IV. She went on to reign till 1901 and was succeeded by her son Edward VII. Up until her great-great-granddaughter, our Queen, took over from her as the longest reigning monarch in British history, she held that position for 63 years. Now, I'm not going to spoil anything that's in the video because I'm going to cut to me right now in Green Park. See you there! Today's video is going to excite the mathematics among you all the Einsteins and number people, don't know the actual word for that, the number wizards among you all.
You're a wizard, Harry.
Because we are going to take a look at Queen Victoria's life and reign in numbers. Now, Queen Victoria was on the throne from 1837 to 1901. That's a long time. So there's a lot of numbers. I will not beat about the bush about this. It's a number dump on you all today. I am not one for numbers, I won't lie to you, but I mean, when it comes to royalty and numbers, I can stomach them. So onwards. So when Alexandrina Victoria came to the throne at the age of only 18, on the death of her uncle William IV, who was the son of King George III, and she came to the throne 1 month after her 18th birthday. Had she not been 18, the Duke of Cumberland, who was the King of Hanover, would have become the King of England as well, because she would have been too young. However, as she was only 18, she was born on the 24th of May 1819 at Kensington Palace, which is only just down the road, the current home of Prince William and Catherine, George, Charlotte, Louis, was the home of Prince Harry and Meghan. Who else lives there? Prince Michael. Princess Eugenie had a house there up until she moved to Frogmore House in Windsor in Berkshire. Now, Queen Victoria, she was a small lady. She was 4 inches shorter than our current Queen, and our current Queen is quite small. So Queen Victoria stood at only 5 foot tall, and interestingly, later in her life, when she was a bit of a larger lady, she was wider around than she was tall. So Victoria was on the throne for 63 years and 216 days, and up until 2015 she was the longest reigning British monarch. Obviously our Queen, Queen Elizabeth II, has since overtaken her. That happened on 9th of September 2015. So Queen Victoria reigned for 23,226 days. I know, a long time. That's 63 years. So Queen Victoria had 9 children with her husband Prince Albert, the oldest of whom was Victoria, the Princess Royal, and she went on to have several children with her husband, such as Kaiser Wilhelm of Germany. Queen Victoria and Albert had 9 children, as I just said.
9.
No, it's 8.
No, it's 9.
Yes, I was testing you. It's 9. And that's a magic number.
She was then succeeded by her son, King Edward VII, who was known as Albert, or Bertie to the family. Other children of hers included Princess Beatrice, Prince Leopold, Princess Louise and Prince Alfred. Now, from her 9 children, get ready, she had 42 grandchildren. 42 grandchildren. Grandchildren of hers include King George V, Prince Albert Victor, who I will do lots of videos on because he was a very scandalous and very interesting character. with he had links to everything from the Cleveland Street scandal to rumours that he was Jack the Ripper. So lots of history to talk about Prince Albert Victor, so watch this space because there'll be lots of content on him. And from those 42 grandchildren, Queen Victoria and Prince Albert shared 87 great-grandchildren, which include the likes of the Queen's father, King George VI, King Edward VIII, who abdicated in 1936. He was his elder brother. And to continue this number dump, there was great-great-grandchildren, 142. Now those include the Queen, Prince Philip, King Juan Carlos of Spain, Queen Sophia of Sweden as well. Because she was known as the grandmother of Europe, all of the royal families essentially are now all connected because of her, because of the relation to Queen Victoria and Prince Albert, because she married all her children off to the royal houses of Europe, regardless of relation, closeness. You know what I mean? The Queen and Prince Philip were third cousins, obviously before his tragic death, and they were married for 73 years, so I mean, the matchmaking obviously worked. The Queen, as she was Queen when she got married, she had to propose to her husband, Prince Albert. They were married on the 10th of February 1840, and they were married for 21 years, and they married at St James's Palace in the Chapel Royal, which is just down the road from where I'm currently sat in Green Park. So if you were to carry on past Buckingham Palace down Pall Mall, and you will see a great big red Tudor brick building which was built by Henry VIII in 1530s, and that's where Queen Victoria married after his death, because she was the absolute love of his life. She couldn't even get dressed in the morning without asking his advice on what to wear. She was so reliant on Albert's influence. So when he died, she spent the next 40 years in mourning. She wore black for the rest of her life. She had his clothes laid out ready for him every morning for 40 years. She had a place set at the table for him. She slept with a plaster cast mould of his hand. She was just absolutely infatuated, and so when he died, she was completely downtrodden and spent the 40 years in mourning. So Queen Victoria is also famous. She's famous for a lot of things because she had such a long lifetime. But one thing she's really famous for is the amount of assassination attempts she survived. No other monarch in history has survived as many assassination attempts as Queen Victoria. Queen Victoria survived 8 assassination attempts. Namely, there was several that were on the Mall, which is just opposite where I'm currently sat. The most famous assassination attempt, and the first one when she was only in her 20s, was by a man named Edward Oxford, who was eventually pardoned as being mentally ill, and he shot a gun at Queen Victoria on the Mall, just next to where I'm sat. Another interesting point, another interesting load of numbers for you here, is, as I mentioned, Queen Victoria was the longest reigning monarch. She took over that realm from her grandfather, King George III, when he died. And her great-great-granddaughter, our Queen, she took over as the longest reigning monarch in British history on September the 9th, 2015. Since then, and obviously still counting because she's still thankfully with us, that has surpassed 2,000 additional days sitting on the throne. So the Queen is now up to 25,000 something days, and obviously as we approach 2022, she will reach that milestone, 70 years on the throne, and be the first British monarch to celebrate a platinum jubilee. That will occur on the 6th of February 2022, on the anniversary of her accession to the throne after her father's death in 1952. The Queen's influence over London, let's just say, for example, because that's where we are, has unmatched. She's remembered in so many different ways, so many different statues, buildings, street names, tube stations, areas of the world, areas of London. There are, at last counts, there are 145 statues of Queen Victoria. 145 statues. So they are in Asia, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, Europe, England, and there are 13 alone in London. 13. You know, the closest one is just behind me. You see the gold? The gold? There's a big statue of Queen Victoria there. So I hope you enjoyed that great big number dump on you there. I'll be trying to do lots more of these on Queen Elizabeth, King George III, anyone I physically can get all the numbers for. Please like, subscribe and share this video. It all helps. Thank you very much. All the socials are listed just below here and in the comments as well. So thank you very much. See you next time. Bye bye.